Hello, this is Sherrin Ingram, and if you found your way to this video, then somehow you already know that I am a fan of real and traditional nutrition. If you've read my online chapter for the Get Your Woman On book, then you also know that I believe that real nutrition has been foundational and most instrumental in my son's progress from living in a fog of autism to being present and engaged with the world around him. In this short video, I'm going to talk to you about the basis of his nutrition plan and what are some next steps you can take to ensure that your diet is truly nourishing your body. But before I discuss more about traditional nutrition, I want to tell you a little bit about myself to give you a context to the information I'll be sharing with you. Now, like you, I am a very busy person. I'm an attorney, a business strategist. I own my own business. I've written some best-selling books. I'm a working mother, spouse. I am a commissioner of the DuPage County Housing Authority, and I'm a board member of several organizations. So I have a lot of demands on my time. So what I'm going to share with you, I want you to keep in mind that even if you have a busy schedule, a highly demanding schedule, incorporating traditional nutrition principles into your life is possible. What is traditional nutrition? Traditional nutrition is nutrition that is made up of only nutrient-dense, properly prepared whole foods. Nutrient density is referring to how much nutrients are actually in the food. You want to obviously get the biggest bang for your buck in time, so to speak. So you're eating foods that pack a big punch. Properly prepared means preparing food in a way that maintains the nutritional integrity of the food and in some cases even enhances the nutrient content. And whole foods, of course, is referring to the whole food the way nature intended, not fractionating the food to pull out one specific nutrient, but the whole food. Now, much of what is referred to as traditional nutrition comes from the work of Dr. Weston A. Price in his seminal book, Nutrition and Physical Degeneration. Dr. Price, who was a dentist, wrote this book in 1939 after he traveled the world and studied 14 indigenous cultures because he was curious to see what was contributing to healthy mouths, which he believed healthy mouths led to healthy bodies. And despite them being very big differences between some of the cultural foods, he noticed that they also had many characteristics that were common to all of them. Now, I don't have all of the common characteristics listed. I just have the ones here that I consider to be the most important of those. You can learn more about Dr. Price's work by reading his book, Nutrition and Physical Degeneration, which you can get pretty much anywhere these days. One of the main characteristics that I found foundational in his work was that there was no refined or denatured foods. In other words, these foods were presented to the people in the way they were intended by nature. No boxed up foods on the shelf. They ate them direct, and in some cases did cook them, but they were cooked in a way to maintain the nutritional integrity. Number two, animal products in some form were in all these cultures. Some only had dairy products, and some did dairy and meat, but they all had animal products in some form. Some of these cultures ate their animal foods raw. In most instances, it was raw dairy foods like raw milk, raw cream, raw cheeses, but many of the cultures did eat their animal meat raw, especially the organ meats. In fact, many of the organ meats were highly prized over the muscle meats. And some cultures actually gave the muscle part of the meat to their pets, and they ate the organ meats because they were just highly prized. 4, they had high enzyme content. This came from the fact that high heat was not put on the foods. Many of it was raw, but when it was cooked, it was low temperature cooking. So that maintained the enzyme content, which is so crucial because enzymes helps us to digest the food we eat. And in America, at least, we cook everything on such high heats that we usually destroy pretty much all the enzyme content in our foods. The foods of these cultures were also high mineral content, which means they actually had all of the minerals that allow us to take advantage of all the vitamins. I mean, there's such an interaction between the vitamins and the minerals and all the other nutrients. We don't have minerals. We're just not able to get the full value of everything we're eating. And the same goes with the plenty of fat-soluble vitamins that were found in these traditional foods. Without fat-soluble vitamins, we're just not able to utilize the minerals that are in the food, which means we just don't get all the nutrition that we can or fully benefit from the foods we do eat, even if they're considered to be nutritious foods. What are some specific benefits of traditional nutrition? Well, first, you get the needed nutrients to perform all your bodily functions. Sometimes people eat food that are just good for their heart. Sometimes they eat food that is just good for the liver, but we're looking for food that is good for the body, all parts of the body. And you get the ability to utilize the nutrients in the food because now you have all the minerals, all those cofactors that we know about and those that we don't know about present in the food. Some of the practical benefits of eating traditional nutrition is energy and clarity. These were big ones for me because when I started doing the diet after my son, because at first I was just cooking special just for him, just planning the menus just for him. But that grew old quick because it was exhausting trying to always have two separate things going on. So out of exhaustion and out of necessity, I put everyone in the house on the diet. And for me, energy and clarity was noticeable. In fact, when I went traveling for an extended period of time and wasn't able to eat the way I am at home, I noticed I was feeling sluggish and just not focused like I normally had been. And when I got back home and was back eating the way I like, I felt clear again and I made the connection. I was like, wow. And I had to figure to myself, if it's doing it for my son, why wouldn't it be doing it for me? I don't have anything as severe as autism, or at least I didn't think so. And the ability to deal effectively with stress. I can't say enough about that. In my busy lifestyle, stress comes with the territory. But now, I don't succumb to every little bug out there. I go to bed at night and I sleep well and I get up ready for the world. That wasn't the case before, but now it is with traditional nutrition. The biggest benefit for me came from seeing my son come out of this fog and into engagement with his world. Notice in the before picture, he has this glassy, I call it the fog look, where he just walks around sort of in his own little world. It's reminiscent of, as they would say, people who have been smoking marijuana, they got the high look in their eyes. That's what he looked like, and he had these dark circles under his eyes. He just didn't look healthy. But look at the after picture. He's engaged, he's smiling, and he's smiling with purpose behind it. He gets what's happening in his world. He doesn't have those dark circles anymore. And traditional nutrition, I believe, was foundational in bringing that about. Why is it important to start now? Where if you're like most, your body is being ravaged by the effects of stress and a lack of vital nutrients. And if you were anything like I was, you may be in a fog of your own and not even know it. And finally, if you want to have and sustain the vitality you need and want, you have got to give your body the tools it needs to do the job. And most important, it is within your power to do this. You have absolute control over what goes in your mouth. And the moment you begin exercising that control, you are going to see a world of difference in your health, your vitality, and your mental outlook. The power questions here are, is supporting your health a priority for you? You have to be honest about this because I know at first glance, pretty much anyone would say yes. But you have to look and see if you're really supporting your health on a day-to-day basis. Are you giving your body what it needs to do its job? And if the answer is no, not consistently, then you cannot say that supporting your health is a priority. It may be important, but it's not a priority. But you can change that right now. And the next power question is, do you want to take your nutritional efforts to the next level? Well, if you do, I have a few suggestions for you. The first thing I want you to do is to make a commitment over the next 30 days to do at least 4 things. The first thing I want you to do is to read at least one book that discusses traditional nutrition. On the next slide here, I'm going to give you a few suggestions, but commit to reading at least 5 to 10 pages a day, and you'll be able to get through any book that's out there. Number 2 is to permanently remove at least one fake food from your diet. That can be soda, that can be anything with the phrase food product on the label, anything with long list of ingredients. All of those things I consider to be fake food, but just pick one and do away with it. Number 3, add at least one nutrient-dense food to your diet. Now, I'm not going to spoil the surprise and tell you what specific nutrient-dense foods are. You'll get that when you read your book. But just know that adding one during this 30-day period can make a difference. But if you want to take it to the next level, you can permanently remove one fake food and add at least one nutrient-dense food to your diet every week. And that's just going to boost it so much quicker for you. And finally, after you finish reading your book, develop a 30-day plan for making more nutritional improvements. I've provided 6 books for you to get started on. Now, once you read one book, you're probably going to come up with your own list, but cover these 6 first if at all possible. They are not only going to motivate you, but just provide you with such a wealth of information and understanding that I'm sure you too will soon be a fan of traditional nutrition, and you'll be sending me emails and letting me know that. At least I hope you will. So pause the video to write down these books and get started on your reading plan. And finally, take action now. Get on the path to understanding and mastering the basics of traditional nutrition. Visit my website for more information at traditionalnutritionwisdom.com. That's traditionalnutritionwisdom.com. If you would like for me to give a detailed presentation to your group on the benefits of traditional nutrition, how to come up with your own eating plan, or just the journey I've been on with my son that's ongoing, send me an email to Sherrin@Sherrin.com. That's SHERRIN@SHERRIN.com, and I love to hear from you. So thank you for listening, and take some action now. Goodbye.